I think we have to look at the tax code almost how we look at a winding river that deposits mud on the side of a bank. It's a process of accretion. So when people think about taxes in America and they think about this huge tax code, and of course the politicians have been yammering for decades about how it's so complicated, we need to reform it, we need to do this and that. And of course it never happens. It's never simplified. And that's because there's no coherent viewpoint that's gone into the tax code. It's simply the result of lobbyists and interests over decade and decade and decade, glomming onto it with their particular deduction or trying to tax the other industry to disadvantage it, trying to find a loophole for your industry. So what it's become and what it operates as today is sort of a reign of terror. It's so uncertain. In other words, what taxes you owe and how much. It's so difficult to ascertain. You can go to two different tax professionals, not lay people, not preparing it yourself. You can go to two different tax professionals and get two different answers as to what you owe. So what this creates is a tremendous amount of uncertainty. And uncertainty is a wonderful tool of terror for government, because if people don't exactly know, they fear something. And so even though they may not be audited, their tax return might pass muster just fine, there's always that sort of idea in the back of their head that they've heard about someone who was ruined by an audit, or they've heard about someone who went to jail for not paying their taxes. And so even though that might be statistically a tiny percentage of the population, it's a tremendous leverage tool for government to just scare you and to make you comply once a year with this sort of spectacle, this complex process by which you file your taxes and pay accountants and worry and fret. So it's really an astonishing thing. So at this point, regardless of what the intention was, regardless of what politicians say, what the tax code acts as is a regulator. It's a way to ensure that Americans are docile and that Americans are frightened of their government. Because that's the number one interaction most people have with the federal government is their annual tax form. So obviously we can all see the sheer evil of it. The net effect of it today is that it's a form of terror.